It's Russell back with Gwinnett Lawns in beautiful, oh boy, day 2 of rain. Today's Wednesday. It's November the 20th, 2024. Let me show you. This is my gauge. Yep, it's a lot of rain we had. It's been raining for the last 2 days. But you know what? We got to get out there and start working. So this is our plan. Today's Wednesday. We were only able to work Monday, and it rained yesterday and a lot today. So we're going to go work on Tuesday's route today. Most of it's just blowing leaves, so it's not that big a deal. Thank goodness we have the trim stars. We will need to do some mulching. There are a couple of the yards that I don't think they don't hold water. So, for instance, my yard gets really soft, even though it's on a hill. I probably wouldn't put the mower in there. So it's a little misty right now. I think it's gonna stop raining. And there's not going to be any more rain the rest of the week. So what's probably going to have to happen is we'll work on Tuesday's route today, and we'll just be a day behind. So Wednesday's on Thursday, Thursday's on Friday. If this was a washout, we would have had to work on Saturday. Now, here's the question. You guys saw how saturated it is. Are you able to get your mower out on some or all of your customers for whatever mower you have? I do know that if I still had the 36 right, the stand-up, I would not dare put the mower on. I would have to give it at least a day, right? Even on this, it's just, well, this side of my yard's not as squishy, but certainly not over there. But this is one of the advantages of having the trim star, is that I can mow in conditions like this. Now, the trim star would go through that just fine, no problem. It wouldn't spin, it wouldn't, obviously I have to be a little careful on the throttle, but I have never ever gouged up a customer's yard with the trim star. Just doesn't happen. It's got very low ground pressure. So that's the question I want to know, is under these conditions, it's rained for 2 days, pretty heavy. You see the amount of water. The mowers that you may have a sit down, you may have a stander, you may have a combination of both, you may have walk behinds. Let me know down in the comments below if you would still be able to work, i.e. mulching up leaves. Now, we're back to the mower question. So here's what I'm going to ask. I have 4 mowers on my list. Now these are all going to be 52 to 54 inch mowers. This is my plan. I've got to get a faster mower. I've got to get a larger mower. And it needs to be a stand-up. So I've got the Hustler Super S 52 I've already demoed. I've got the Wright LG that I've already demoed. My favorite of those two, if I had to choose, would be the Wright. I also am thinking about the Bradley 52. And this is the reason. It's got a good engine on it. It's got the Vanguard. I prefer Kawasaki engines, but the Vanguard is a pretty solid engine. And it's got the Hydro Gear 3400 transaxles. Hydro Gear is by far my favorite. And they're very, very reliable. They're very robust. And to be quite honest, that's the most expensive part of the mower are the 2 transmissions. Now those are integrated transmissions. The Hustler has a pump and motor setup. They're Parker and I believe Danfoss. I think the pumps are Parker and maybe the wheel motors are Danfoss. They're both excellent. Now that's the heaviest duty setup as far as durability and rebuildability. The Wright LG has massive ZT 4,400 transaxles. Those things are, that's like for those of you who are into trucks, right? That would be like an F550 as opposed to, the 3,500 dually and F550, or a cabin chassis like this compared to that. It's just, that mower is so overbuilt, it probably would last 30 years. So the other mower besides that I'm looking at is the Grandstand. I'm not a fan. I know that they use tough torque transaxles. They're okay, in my opinion. I would rather have hydro gear, but I don't know. The Grandstand's just, I think it's a little too weird for me with that deck. I don't know. I need to go and try it. So I want a demo. Okay, so here's another question. If you're in Atlanta and you have a Bradley 52-inch, I would test drive a 40. I just want to try it on some hills, see how it does. And the reason that I'm even considering the Bradley, it is literally half the price of the other mowers. It is insane. It's $6,300, and some of the dealers have them on sale. $6,300 for a 52-inch stand-up. They all have 27 horsepower engines. They all have good transaxles. It's half the price. That is, if it was not, if it was a 1,000 or 2,000 less, I probably wouldn't consider it. But you guys know I work on my own stuff. Okay, so that's not a problem as long as I can get parts. So that's in one of the mowers that's in the running. And also a John Deere. I didn't really realize this, but there's a big John Deere dealer real close in the town that I live in, Decula. So I would be looking at like the, I think it's the Q850M or R. So all the other mowers I've talked about, the Bradley is the cheapest. The Wright, I think, is like 11 grand. That's the next cheapest. And then you've got the Hustler Super S, which is probably 11-ish, 12. And then I don't know how much the John Deere one is. So I'm not really, Skags are just way too expensive. My dealer that has the Toro, he's a big Skag dealer. The Wright is, the dealer's way far away, but there is a dealer that's closer, but that's for me, that's really not a big issue. Okay, I mean, I would love to be able to buy one from a dealer that's real close. The John Deere does have one advantage, is that I believe if they've got the mower in for a warranty repair and it's going to be more than 24 hours, they give you a loaner. So I don't know how that works. I reached out to them yesterday because I would like to do a demo. So if anybody listening and you're in Atlanta and you have one of these mowers that I would be able to, just try out. I'm not take it. Just I just want to try it and see how I like it. I figure that would be a little better than just running around in a flat parking lot somewhere. I just want to see how it does on the hills and all that. So that's my thinking. So the other thing is, while we have phenomenal blowers, right, it's not enough volume of air for me. So the choice is to get a street blower. Like I'd probably get a Little Wonder, the self-propelled one, but those things are super expensive. I have yards that I would be able to use that on for sure in doing leaf cleanups, but I probably, if I was going to get the mower, I would also get the blower called a U-mount. So they have two versions. I think it's like maybe like a 12 horsepower one and I don't know, a 5 or 6 horsepower one. Well, the smaller one it's like 98 pounds. It fits right on the front casters, right? So you just leave it on the mower. You can just leave it on the mower if you want. All of those mowers would be able to handle it, no problem. I think a 48, if I had a 48, it would struggle. I just need a bigger mower. I need something that's more powerful. When we did the leaf mulching, which I didn't video at all, on Monday, which is a house that we go to every 2 weeks. The engine on the TrimStar is just, it's struggling because the amount of leaves is so much. Now, I eventually did it. I got it all down and basically made it into just like topsoil, but I had to go over it and over it and over it. And if I didn't have those Ballard hybrid, the gold hybrid blades on there, I don't know if I could have done it. But it's really, that Kawasaki FS600 is a great engine, but it lacks power to do the things in the fall that I need to do, right? It's costing me time, is basically what it is. So I have to have a piece of equipment that is, I'm going to be able to use, also cutting. Probably on whatever mower I get, I'm going to put the X blades on there, like put double hybrid blades on there, gold hybrid blades, to try to, you know, if I can do a 2-pass thing and be done with it, that would be good. Now the mowers, like for stuff like this is typical of a lot of yards. This is no problem for the TrimStar at all. This is nothing. But I'm talking about, I had several feet worth of leaves, and they were dry. They weren't as dry as they were before, but they were, you know, it wasn't a moisture problem. It was a problem, just the volume of leaves. I had the deck all the way up. I had to do that a couple of times, and I had to drop the deck back down. And it made the finest topsoil you've ever seen. I mean, there was not even any confetti. It made it into literally dirt. So it can do it. It's just, it's taking too much time. So if you guys could answer those questions for me, and I would very much appreciate if you are in this area and you have one of those mowers, or maybe there's a mower you really love that's around a 52, 54 inch that I haven't considered. I'm trying to think. I don't know. But my favorite mower out of all these, I think, is the Right. Just is. I like the controls. But that price on that Bradley, man, that's, goodness gracious. That would pay, having that and then spending, I think the U-mount blower is probably about $2,800. Then I still have more left over from not buying just one stand-up of the other brands. I don't know. I don't know. There's a dealer in North Carolina that they're a huge Bradley dealer. There's no Bradley dealers around here. And they sell a ton of them, and they pretty much always have them on sale. So the only thing I would need to put on there is like a grass flap, and then make my trimmer mount for it. But I do. That's aggressive pricing. You know, it's not like it's some off-brand engine and off-brand transmissions and stuff. I mean, they got really good engine transmission and everything else, you know, spindles and all that. You guys see my videos. I work on my own stuff. So anyway, I'm going to get ready, get the truck warmed up, and get out here in this mess and get these yards done. But yeah, please put down in the comments below, and if you can answer those questions for me, and I will talk to you guys on the next video.